You know, it seems to be a really huge population of white people here in America that feel like black people should be celebrating the 4th of July. And they also feel like if black people don't want to celebrate the 4th of July, and if they choose not to observe it or whatever, that they're racist or that they're too busy concentrating on the past of slavery or whatever. Well, according to that logic, well then, why don't white people celebrate the emancipation of slavery with us? If us as black people gotta celebrate the freedom of white people from their slave master, then how come they don't have to celebrate our freedom? That's another example of one of those typical racist, biased, one-sided arguments that come from a typical white person. White people act as if America has actually given black people something to truly be proud of. All America has done since we got here in the first place was just try to demonize our character while robbing us of our culture, our history, and our money, as well as our own personal rights. I don't see that as anything worth being proud of. And honestly, I think white people got a ton of pride. And you know the Bible, it says pride come before a great fall. Y'all got so much pride to where y'all literally think that black people are supposed to get down on their knees and start wagging their behind like a dog, kissing up to y'all and celebrating all y'all holidays, and just no sense of self-pride or no sense of dignity at all. It's like y'all expect us to be these little pet, little good Negroes. I got a scenario for y'all right quick. What if Arabs, you know how Caucasians, they seem to have a lot of beef with the Arabs and the Muslims. So okay, let's picture this right quick. Let's say the Arabs, they got some slave ships or some airplanes or whatever you want to use for transportation, and they came over here to America, okay? The good old US of A, right? And they started rounding up Caucasians and throwing them in the back of the airplanes or in the back of the slave ships or whatever they're going to use, even spaceships. They want to use whatever they're going to use to haul Caucasians back to the Middle East and turn them into slaves. And then after they achieved their goal of turning Caucasians into slaves in the Middle East, they started raping Caucasian women, and then they started castrating Caucasian men, started throwing Caucasian babies to alligators or lions or whatever they got over there in the Middle East. Then on top of that, they started stealing all y'all culture and stealing all y'all's wealth, any wealth that y'all may have had. Stole all your history. No, let's say they stole American history and made it into Arab history. They made it seem like George Washington was an Arab. Then they started talking about Thomas Jefferson and all your white heroes over here in America. They started turning them into Arabs, okay? And then they started, just in general, just mistreating y'all and segregating y'all and doing all this crap to y'all, right? And let's say on another note, the Arabs, let's say let's say the Middle East is called the United States of the Middle East, right? And the Middle East, the United States of the Middle East, they're kind of at odds with China, right? And China, they're basically in debt servitude to China, right? So they're kind of at odds with China and everything, right? So basically, here's the scenario. You have the United States of the Middle East who have Caucasians as their personal slaves, doing whatever the heck they want to them, right? But in turn, the United States of the Middle East are in debt servitude to China, the same way America was in debt servitude to Britain. So let's say the United States of the Middle East, they have a war with China, right? And let's say they whoop China's butt and they gain their independence, right? Let's say 3 or 4 generations from now. Do you expect your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren to celebrate the independence of the United States of the Middle East from China, while your grandchildren, while your people are still being mistreated by these people, expect you to celebrate their independence? As much as you Caucasians tend to hate Arab Muslims, we all know how that story would end. Y'all will rather go down suicidally fighting than to go there and be slaves to the United States of the Middle East and then turn around and start celebrating their independence. Y'all would never celebrate their independence. So then that causes me to ask the question, why do y'all expect black people to celebrate the independence of white people from their slave master? Y'all are the most hypocritical race of people on the face of this planet. I mean, y'all have literally gone around this world mass murdering people. I mean, there are whole tribes and villages of people that have once existed that don't exist anymore. They're extinct. I mean, y'all have gone around the world raping people. Y'all have gone around the world stealing land and stealing resources and stealing whole cultures and appropriating it into your own culture and just doing all kinds of despicable things on the face of this planet. I mean, even look at the stuff y'all doing now. Y'all pumping this crude oil and turning into gasoline and then messing up the Earth's gases, creating greenhouse gases that are literally destroying the Earth. I mean, nuclear waste. Y'all are literally messing this entire Earth up since the time of y'all's Caucasian superiority campaign. Yet somehow y'all have mentally and internally convinced yourselves that the entire world owes y'all a debt of gratitude. What's wrong with y'all? Anyway, today is the 4th of July. And like I said in my last 4th of July video, I don't think black people should be celebrating the 4th of July. Just like if the United States of the Middle East were to take Caucasian slaves captive while being in debt servitude to China, I wouldn't expect Caucasians to celebrate the independence of Arabs from their Chinese masters. I mean, that's retarded. I mean, y'all are literally, like I said, begging black people to get down on their knees and beg to y'all like a dog. And that's retarded. Anyway, I'm finished. Those were my thoughts on the 4th of July experience for black people. I mean, we were still in slavery. So, I mean, there's really nothing for us to celebrate. I don't understand why that's such a hard concept to grasp. I had to step away for a minute. But anyway, like, dislike, subscribe. Or you can unsubscribe too. You know, it doesn't really matter. Y'all can like share this video to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever y'all share stuff on these days. Shalom.